Hi everyone, hope you're well. It's Bernard here on behalf of MovieGameNostalgia.com. It's Thursday, so we're going to have a look at some posters again today. I've actually picked some of the, you may have seen in one of the previous Halloween specials. We do have smaller posters that are approximately square posters that are 17 inch by 17 inch as opposed to the A2 ones. These are brilliant because they're not overly big and people like to stick them, you can get more on the wall, obviously, more bang for your buck, obviously, these little posters. So I've just picked out 10 at random that my little pile of these. I've probably got about 70 or 80 different titles, something like that, all this size. They're all really good. As they've not been banged about as much, perhaps, as some of the bigger A2 ones, so they're all in great condition. So we're going to have a look at them today. Like what we do, please push the all subscribe button. That'll be absolutely fantastic. I've got a new angle here as well, so it obviously fits nicely with the smaller poster. So we're not having to alter things up like I normally do. So that'll be a change. I might adapt it for future for the A2 ones. Push your old bell notification. You want to know when these things are coming out. Anyway, it's Thursday, so this is it. This is the poster special, right? Shall we start with the get this down so you can see the very first one we're going to do? Well, there you go. You're talking a remake, aren't you? It's the wonderful Steve Martin and Goldie Hawn from 1999. Obviously, John Cleese also stars in it as a hotel manager, or I don't know, he's one of obviously the maitre d' or whatever he is in a hotel, if I remember rightly. It didn't do very well. I mean, it cost $75 million to make and only recouped back 28 million. It's only got an IMDb rating, Internet Movie Database rating of 5.5 out of 10. I thought it was better than that. But as I said, sometimes it doesn't matter about the film, doesn't it? It's the poster. It's the Steve Martin, Goldie Hawn element there that's really good to look at. No, unfortunately, there we go. There's John Cleese as well. So you can get John Cleese as an extra little bonus, which is quite nice, isn't it? Apparently, a lot of the footage was stolen for this movie. As you can see, how it did badly at the cinema. I don't think it's because there was pirate copies of it. Obviously, someone just stole the footage and probably lost it somewhere, and they had to reshoot a lot of this movie to get it into the theatres. So that was a bit of a nuisance, wasn't it? But a nice little poster, isn't it? And say the film's okay. Obviously, the original was Jack Lemmon back in 1970, and if I was to go back and watch one again, I don't know. I'd like to watch it. I'd watch them both again because they're both pretty good. That's the Out of Towners from 1999. Right, now we're going to 1998 or the year before. These are all late 90s today, apart from the last one, which is the year 2000. So these are all. It must have been a phase the distributors were going through, making these smaller posters in the late 90s, because there's quite a few of these, all a similar sort of date. Now, well, this is Parting Shots. Obviously not, again, look, we got the old John Cleese again in this one. So Chris Rea, Felicity, Kendal, Bob Hoskins, it's mainly British actors, Ben Kingsley, Joanna Lumley, Oliver Reed, Diana Rigg, and of course it's a Michael Winner film. This is the actual last film that Michael Winner directed in 1998. Only got a 5.1 score at the on Internet Movie Database. It's about a photographer who obviously has a dislike for a lot of people in his career, and he finds out he's got cancer. So, very, very, very joyful story. He gets hold of a gun, obviously, and goes to sort out the people that have made his life a misery, obviously. But I think he's more perhaps popular with the UK audience, with obviously those actors in it. But I thought it was okay. I remember it. I thought it was quite good. It's typical Michael Winner. You either like Michael Winner's films or you don't. Well, that's Parting Shots, which nice poster, 1998. Right, on to the next one. This is nice, isn't it, for kids? If you've got a kid's bedroom. I mean, obviously, it's not a film that is overly well known, Paulie. It came out in 1998 again, a $23 million budget, and it got back 27 million at the box office. So it didn't do too bad, does it? It's a parrot's tale about his adventures and where he's come from and where he's going to. And there were actually 14 different parrots used. So obviously the same breed, because obviously it wouldn't have been no use. They're all different colours. There was all 14, because obviously some of the acting by the parrot, if you like to call it acting, was actually depending on the parrot's personalities of the 14. So obviously each parrot had its own personality, would be preferred to do certain scenes. But that's It's a nice. If you like parrots and your kids like parrots and animals, that's a nice poster to have on the wall, isn't it? That's Paulie. That was from 1998. Now on to the next one. Obviously a bigger movie. 50 million budget, 110 million. This one got back. 1997, so we've gone back a year earlier. Obviously, it's terrorists and nuclear weapons, and with the wonderful George Clooney and Nicole Kidman, a good action picture. Obviously, it's a film a few people may have missed this along the way. It's obviously Clooney who actually stars in this. Obviously, Nicole Kidman. He actually admired Nicole Kidman so much that he's a bit of a prankster, apparently, Mr. Clooney, and apparently because he liked Kidman so much, he didn't really play his little pranks and stuff in this. So that's quite interesting. But a good film. Good film. What did it get? It got 5.9 out of 10 on Internet Movie Database. So nearly 6, which is okay. If you've not seen Peacemaker, go back and watch it. It's done by DreamWorks. So if you've not seen that, please, I wouldn't put you off going back and watching that one. On to the next one. So there's a lot of these political things about now, isn't it? It's a comedy drama. Again, back to 1998. It cost 65 million to make and only clawed back 52 million, unfortunately. So it did pretty much fail, but it got a healthy 6.6 out of 10 rating on the IMDb. Obviously, it's a political campaign thing, a bit of humour, some dryness in it, some serious elements to it. Actually, Tom Hanks was offered the lead role, obviously, that John Travolta took over. Got wonderful Emma Thompson, obviously. Tom Hanks was offered the role, but obviously the closeness to a certain Bill Clinton in the storyline and the plot, Tom Hanks decided not to do it because he was close friends with Bill Clinton at the time. So obviously that's was took over by John Travolta, but a nice poster, especially if you like John Travolta and Emma Thompson. That was from 1998. Right, the next one, obviously I've sold a lot of these over time. Obviously Van Damme's always very popular, still very popular now. This is one of his films that he seemed to do dozens of films every year, didn't he? I mean, this is The Quest. It's obviously based around someone trying to steal a sacred statue to martial arts, believe it or not, a martial arts competition, a lost city, a man of destiny, a test of honor. So you've got the wonderful Jean-Claude Van Damme there. 1996, only got a 5.6 rating on IMDb. Roger Moore had a little part in this. Obviously, there's no picture of Roger Moore. Maybe in the wording here, Roger Moore. There we are, Roger Moore. Had a small part in this. And the producer wanted him to do another film for him after this, but Roger Moore was so depressed about this film. He didn't enjoy doing the film at all for whatever reason, and obviously he refused to work for the producer ever again. So there you go. Roger Moore didn't want to be associated with the producer anyway. He didn't actually come out and slag the film off. But hey, it's Van Damme, isn't it? The Quest, an 18 certificate, which is unusual in those. Usually he gets 15, but obviously it's quite violent, The Quest. Not my sort of film. It got 5.6 out of 10 on IMDb. Right, on to The Rainmaker, obviously based on the wonderful John Grisham novel. This is a really good film. It's obviously taking on insurance companies. It's one of these, it's obviously from Francis Ford Coppola, so Matt Damon, Danny DeVito. A great little film if you've not seen The Rainmaker and you like these sort of political type, lawyer type thrillers. It cost 40 million to make and got back 46 million, but scored a healthy 7.2 out of 10 on Internet Movie Database. John Grisham, who actually wrote the book that the film was based on, actually said this at the time this film was made, that it was his favourite of all the films that had been converted from his novel. So John Grisham actually liked this film, and it is worth a good watch. And that's a nice image. I mean, obviously, if you're American, you probably know where they're coming out of there with that court. You know, I'm not too sure myself. I'm sure you would know if you're American what court that was. And now on to the old classic, one of my favourite classic things when I was a young man or young man, obviously TV program The Saint with the wonderful Roger Moore, which we've already mentioned before, haven't we? But this is obviously the TV movie version with Val Kilmer. This is from 1997, 90 million to make, and it got 169 million back at the box office. So did really well. 6.2 out of 10 rating on Internet Movie Database. So got a nice score. The actual character in it, when he's reading poetry, it's actually Val Kilmer's own poems that he's reading. So he's reading, obviously, the Simon Templar character. He's reading his own produced poems. So if you like the poetry, there you go. You got Val Kilmer's quite a nice poet. But no, The Saint, good film. A good 6.2 out of 10 is not bad actually for an adaptation from a TV. I think that's a great poster, obviously, with the Russian elements, the Kremlin, etc. in the background. Obviously, he's a gentleman thief, isn't he? That obviously is for hire. So that's basically what Simon Templar is, a baddie but a goodie, if you know what I mean. And there's a familiar little halo that he used to have. And obviously the wonderful Elisabeth Shue's in that as well. It would have been nice to see Elisabeth Shue on the poster. Unfortunately, we didn't get that. And here's a nice unusual poster. You got an upside down thing, which obviously reflects the film. So you got that way and that way, obviously. Two Gwyneth Paltrows, obviously, and if you watch the film, a great film. This is my sort of film, a sort of time shift thing, obviously, where she misses a tube train, and obviously she then changes her hairstyle, so you can follow two stories. One was what happened if she caught a train. One was what happened when she missed a train. So obviously the romantic side, etc. of this. So obviously John Hannah was in it as well, John Lynch, as well as the lovely, gorgeous Gwyneth Paltrow. There are two sides to every story. Hell is about to live both of them at the same time. Romance was never this much fun. It is a great film. I mean, it scored 6.7 out of 10. This was made in 1998. 6.7 out of 10 on IMDb, which is a cracking score, obviously. And obviously, Mr. John Hannah actually said after watching this and taking part in this film, he never ran for a train again. He said, obviously, if fate says you're going to miss the train, you're going to miss the train. But hey, tube trains run every few minutes anyway, don't they? It's no big deal if you miss one, does it? But obviously, it was a big deal in this film if you miss one. So there you go. Sliding Doors, a great little film. If you've not watched that, please go back and watch it. $6 million to make, 58 million box office. So it did really well pro rata to its cost. And the last one we're going to look at today, again, a family comedy. I mean, it's called Snow Day. It's about some high school kids who obviously want to get out of school, and obviously they want to make sure they have longer off, because obviously for a snow day. Took 13 million to make, and it made 62 million baht, but it didn't do very well. I mean, wasn't the greatest family comedy. I mean, a lot of people wouldn't have really heard of this, to be honest with you. But it did cost 13 million, but it did get back 62 million at the box office, 62 million pound. So it's a 5.1 out of 10. So that's not very well rated. Obviously, during the filming of this, there was an actual bank heist quite close to the shoot, and obviously as they was shooting the film, these bank robbers, and obviously the weather was a bit cold and there was snow, actually came through the film scene, while they were filming, and obviously the people on set obviously rang the police, and these two bank robbers got stuck in a snowdrift, believe it or not, and the police actually caught them. So there you go. It's from Nickelodeon as well. That's Snow Day. You may have missed that one somewhere along the lines. It's okay. I say only got a 5.1 rating on IMDb. It's not a bad film. It's a bit silly, but with the weather as it is now, it's probably a nice film to watch. It's probably not as bad as it is on this film, the weather, but that's Snow Day. And that, as I said, that's the only one not from the 90s. That was from the year 2000. So there you go, 10 films. All good films. What would I recommend you to watch? Again, The Out of Towners, I enjoyed that. Parting Shots, yeah, Michael Winner. It's a British. If you like the British sort of silly things, Paulie's not bad for a pet silly animal talking parrot thing. That's not bad. The Peacemaker, obviously, brilliant action thriller. Primary Colours, a really good political thriller. The Quest, again, if you're a Van Damme fan, you're going to watch The Quest, aren't you? Rainmaker, a superb courtroom stroke insurance fraud stroke political sort of thriller. The Saint, obviously, the excellent action thriller. Sliding Doors with Gwyneth Paltrow is brilliant. And, of course, our final one there, Snow Day, which, again, yeah, bit of fun. Just say it's very light. It's probably more appreciated now than it was at the time. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the new way of doing that. 10 posters there, all 17 by 17. They're on the website, moviegamenostalgia.com. I've got about 1,000 different movie titles. Obviously, I've got multiple numbers of each, so I've got quite a few thousand posters stored away there. So have a look at moviegamenostalgia.com if you're looking for any particular post, especially this time of year for Christmas. You can, there's a favourite film of your boyfriend or your wife or your husband or whoever, any member of your family from the 90s and the 2000s, which is the year I had the old video shop in Manchester. Have a look on there, and they love it. Great. These are nice to frame. You don't have to, obviously the A2 ones, you have to buy a slightly bigger frame. These aren't too bad, are they? So there you go. I hope you enjoyed that. So obviously on Twitter, you can follow me at nostalgia_movie. And on Facebook, I'm at Bernard Deneen with links to moviegamenostalgia.com. Obviously, moviegamenostalgia.com is my website. Tomorrow, Friday, I'll be looking, I think I've warned you, I'll be looking at some comedies, some box set comedies on the BBC that you may have missed. And there's some there that, I know all the obvious ones, but there's quite a few there that I've missed. I've been catching up on and are really funny that I've just missed along the way. So I'll be recommending the top 10 of them for you tomorrow anyway. And obviously, if you're in the US, if you've not got access to the BBC, these are probably available on different streaming sites over in the US, and obviously in the UK, they're on BBC iPlayer. Obviously on YouTube, if you want to look at some movie reviews, board game reviews, and obviously these poster reviews, all the playlists are there on Bernard Deneen YouTube, with links also to my Citizen vlogs, which are about Manchester City, my football team. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that. Thank you very much for watching. Look after yourself, look after your friends, and more importantly, look after your family. And I'll see you all again very, very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.